Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another Walking Dead video. So in this one here, I wanted to do a Q&A, and this one is sort of post Comic-Con, and so I just wanted to get into some of your guys' thoughts on that, or I guess not thoughts, but questions that you have about that. And yeah, we're all sort of winding down right now from Comic-Con, and as soon as it's August 1st, we're going to be getting right into like the Daryl Dixon show and a lot of promotion for that, and that's where a lot of my videos will start to focus a lot on that. Dead City is sort of ending. I don't really have any other Dead City videos planned to do right now. There might be a couple season 2 videos that I could do right now, but I might just wait on that. And yeah, but if you do want to take part in my future Q&As, definitely go follow my Discord. The server name is Appetite for the Dead. The link for that should be in the description here. I do them once a week. I usually do them every single Wednesday. Sometimes I might do them more, but it's generally, I would say, every single Wednesday. And so yeah, if you want to take part in next week's Q&A, or at least have a chance to take part in them, because I don't answer every single question, because sometimes they're a little repetitive and I don't want to be answering the same questions constantly, right? So I try to choose the ones that I haven't answered, and also it depends too. If I get so many questions, I can't necessarily like do all of them, but I could also just do 2 Q&As. Yeah, so definitely go follow the Discord, but let's actually get into the first question here. So Q&A, do you think that the first shot of Michonne in the teaser where she has tears in her eyes is actually when she first sees Rick again? No, I don't. I really don't think that at all. Like, there's no way they're giving us that right there. There's no way. Like, she's outside. There's no way Rick is just like outside and she's seeing him or something like that. I just don't see that necessarily being the case. I mean, if that was the case, maybe you could argue that she's out there, she looks and she can actually see Rick, and maybe he's like, obviously he's working or something, because that's sort of what he has to do right now. He's forced to do manual labor for the Civic Republic, and maybe she sees him and then she's just like, you know, she gets those tears and then she's just like, I can't believe it. I see him right there, but like I can't save him right now because of everyone around him. Like, there's no way I could do that right now. I don't think that's the case. I think that is just a little bit too much for a small teaser. I think that reveal there is something most likely entirely different. I don't know what it could be. It could be a sign that Rick left somewhere, and so she has tears in her eyes because she's seeing something like on a tree, or just left somewhere. Because when we saw Rick escape the Civic Republic, like, we just saw that one scene where he put the note in the bottle, but there was other stuff that happened if you think about it. Like, he had a fire, so he was out kind of like all night. Like, he might have left that night or like the day before, but he was out all night going into the morning, right? So he could have put clues everywhere, like all over the place, right? And so maybe she found something else there, and that's sort of what she's reacting to. I don't think it's going to be her seeing Rick. I think that's a little too soon right now. Q&A, do you think that the scene in the teaser where Rick is swinging down a hatchet could be him cutting off his own hand? I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I think it's probably, I mean, I don't even think it's a walker. I think it's a Civic Republic soldier. I think it's insane, but I think that's what it is. I don't think it's a walker at all. I mean, it's insane for it to be a Civic Republic soldier, because would Rick normally do that? I mean, obviously, because of what they're doing to Rick and the fact that they're keeping him there, not letting him leave. Yeah, I could totally see why he would do that, right? Just because this world is just so different, right? I mean, look at his experiences throughout the entire franchise, right? Ever since the apocalypse began, he's went through so much. So at this point here, he just wants to get back to his family. It's probably been, I mean, it depends on this shot. This could be a flashback, but if not a flashback, you know, at this point, it's been 10 to 15 years, or at least a little over 10 years since he's been with his family. So he wants to get back. Like, he does want to get back to his family. I totally understand it. I get it. But in terms of him cutting off his own hand, no, I don't see that happening here in this scene. Q&A, do you think that the background character we saw behind Rick could be Silas from World Beyond? No, I don't think Silas is going to be in this show. I don't. I mean, they could make some connections to World Beyond. I just don't think it's going to be Silas. If anything, it's going to be just some of the older characters, most likely the people involved with the Civic Republic. There could be some mentions of stuff here and there, just things of dialogue, right? But I don't think Silas is in the scene at all. Q&A, all the news we got, what gets you hyped the most? What gets me hyped the most? I would say it has to be, I mean, if I'm being honest, it was likely the Daryl Dixon trailer. Like, the Rick and Michonne teaser, I think it was really great. I was expecting a tiny bit more in terms of just footage. I just thought we would get some more confirmation on like Jadis or like Major General Beale, right? Because I think it makes sense to get some confirmation on that. But yeah, I would have to say I think I was more excited about the Daryl show, because I just wasn't expecting the music and the tone of that show to be like that. And it just, honestly, like, that show is going to be so amazing. Like, watching the first 10 minutes, it feels so much like classic Walking Dead. But like there's like a newness and freshness to it. There's just something that's really awesome about it. And maybe it's because it's Daryl and we've just been watching Maggie and Negan for a while. Maybe we just miss Daryl, or maybe I do miss Daryl, but I don't know. There was just something about it. I just, again, I really got excited about the Daryl Dixon trailer. It looked absolutely incredible. I was blown away by that trailer. Q&A, could we get a movie to wrap up the Walking Dead universe? I guess anything is possible at this point. I will say, like, you know, the idea of a movie is exciting, but I just don't know if you could really do a movie. Like, there's just something about a movie that doesn't work for The Walking Dead in terms of its storytelling. There's ways you can make it work because you do gotta change it. I just don't know how that would look. And I actually do wonder if that's why there was a bunch of problems with writing the movie or writing the trilogy, right? Because they were heavily in the writing process for that, and it just seemed like things weren't really getting anywhere. Because I do wonder if there was, I mean, obviously they were planning to end The Walking Dead. They were doing other spin-offs and doing, you know, whatever. So I think that in general, the movie just didn't necessarily work. I think there was something about the writing and the pacing that was just, again, like you would have to do so much in a movie that, you know, like basically a movie would have to feature a certain complete storyline, much like The Walking Dead usually gives us in, you know, Dead City gave us that in six episodes here. And that's my point. See, this is actually a perfect point that I do want to make right here when talking about the trilogy, because everybody always told me, or at least people that disagree with me, that you know, the Rick TV show being 6 episodes is the same thing as the Rick movie trilogy because it's 2 hours each, right? No, that's not going to be what it is. Like, if you look at Dead City, imagine after episode 2, that being a complete story. Then episode 3 and 4 being one movie. Then episodes 5 and 6 being the last movie of the trilogy. Like, you can't do that. Like, the storytelling is so different. Like, the tone and the structure of TV shows is just, it's so different than a movie. Like, it's so different. And so that's why I always said that. Like, I've just always stuck to that. Like, it's not the same thing. I know technically this TV show, it's 6 episodes, at least in this first season, or that could be the only thing that we're getting. But if it is just 6 episodes, it's going to be a disappointment because it's a TV show and the storytelling is going to be a lot slower. And I imagine the overall just first, you know, 6 episodes here is likely going to be what the first movie was about, right? It's not the same thing. Like, you can't just take 2 episodes and just base it off of runtime. That makes no sense whatsoever. Q&A, what job do you think Rick was given at the CRM? A normal labor job killing walkers or a higher up job as a leader? I actually think it was just a normal sort of job killing walkers. I mean, we kind of see that in the teaser. I don't think he was given a higher position at all. It'll be interesting to see, you know, if this show does get a season 2, if that is where they're kind of going with it. Because do they abandon the CRM entirely? Like, where would they go for a second season? Do Rick and Michonne just like escape the Civic Republic, or do they join the Civic Republic and they're just, you know, the story is more set within that community? Or it's not really necessarily a community, it's a place that's like 200,000 people, right? But yeah, I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. But to answer your question, I think it's normal, just like manual labor. Like, he's out there having to clear walkers or do whatever Silas was doing then. Q&A, are you happy overall with what we got for The Walking Dead, The Ones Who Live? I will say that I just wish that we got a little bit more of just a little bit more footage of just, I don't know. I think they could have done a little bit more. Like, it was really cool to see like the shots of Michonne and Rick, and it was like the red background. You just sort of see the silhouettes of them, right? Or the shadows of them. That was very cool. Like, I have no issue with that, but I just feel like at this point, I really wanted something more. I don't know. I think they could have given us a little bit more, just a little bit more footage, because really, we only have like, I mean, I don't know. The shots were done so quick, so you have to pause it to really analyze and see everything. But I think they could have given us a little bit more. But obviously, I was still excited to see that teaser. I just think a little bit more, and it just would have been amazing. Q&A, do you think it's possible that the Daryl spinoff is a prequel to World Beyond's post-credit scene? I was thinking maybe that the kid that Daryl was delivering had survived a bite. The bad people from the Daryl trailer want to run tests on the kid and end up making the virus worse, leading to variants. Just a random thought I had after seeing the trailer and going back to watch that post-credit scene in World Beyond. That would be really fascinating, to be honest, but I think it's most likely that took place years in the past, just because the setting looked a lot more, I mean, it looked a lot more like just not so abandoned, right? Like when Daryl walks in there, it looks so old. It looks like it's just been completely abandoned for many, many years. So I think if anything, the Daryl Dixon spinoff is more of a sequel to the World Beyond's post-credit scene. Q&A, unrelated, but what are your thoughts on the new Invincible Season 2 trailer? Well, I haven't watched it yet. I'm answering your question just because I saw the question here, but I also wanted to kind of make the point of, if you guys want Invincible Season 2 reviews, I could totally do that because I really, really enjoyed Season 1. There's some stuff I probably have to go rewatch it to like remember certain things, but I did enjoy Season 1, so obviously Season 2, if you do want me to review it, I totally will. Yeah, if there's enough people that want it, I'll definitely do it. Q&A, do you know how Daryl got that scar on his eye? I tried to figure it out, and first I thought he got it while he was fighting Alpha in 1010, but actually, it appeared after the Season 9 time jump. Also, do you think AMC Plus viewership for Dead City will ever be revealed? Just so we know exactly how big of a hit Dead City was. So on the first part, I think that Daryl's scar on his eye was likely just, again, it's one of those things where I don't know if they're ever going to get into, because I think they like to just keep that mystery there to the character and just have that more of a thing for fans to just sort of imagine what happened, right? Like, there's always like more stories to tell kind of thing. So I don't think we're ever going to really necessarily get the answer to that. I just think that it was just something that happened. You know, Daryl was out there looking for Rick. It really just could have been a branch or something. Like, honestly, it could have been something just so minor. But yeah, I think that I don't think we're ever going to get the answer for that. On your second part of the question there, in terms of AMC Plus viewership, I don't know if we're ever going to get that in general, because streaming services don't necessarily do that, like, ever, right? Like, streaming services just kind of keep the numbers to themselves, and it's one of those things where you kind of have to go based off of what they say the ratings were, in terms of just like, did it beat this franchise kind of thing, right? And Dead City, like, as big of a hit as it was, they said that the numbers there were bigger than The Walking Dead's final season, because it was the number one franchise or season or whatever of AMC Plus's history. So that beats all previous seasons of The Walking Dead that aired on AMC Plus. And, you know, the final season was a really, really big season for The Walking Dead. So I have no idea what their numbers are, but I will say almost everyone watches on AMC Plus now. I don't think anyone really watches on cable anymore. So I imagine their numbers are pretty monstrous anyways. But yeah, I'm gonna leave it here. Make sure to post all your thoughts down below. Hope you guys all enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.